Hi everyone, Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Czarface album, A Fistful of Peril. Czarface is a New York hip-hop trio featuring MC Esoteric, Inspecta Deck of Wu-Tang Clan fame, and producer 7L. They assembled out of the blue with a debut self-titled album a handful of years ago, which was a kind of so-so album in my opinion, very surprising considering the collective experience of everyone in the group. At the time, it just kind of felt like another boom bap throwback in a sea of mostly superior boom bap throwbacks. All of the comic book villainy references also felt a little, I don't know, stale in a post-MF Doom world too. But the trio improved pretty greatly and quickly on their sophomore full-length album, Every Hero Needs a Villain. The star-studded feature list on this thing was fantastic. The production seemed like it had improved too. Definitely grimier than the previous record, and most importantly, it seemed like there was more chemistry going on between Inspecta Deck and Esoteric. They were sounding like a well-oiled machine. They sounded like they were excited to actually be recording this album. And I think they continue to play off of each other pretty well on this new album too. But this thing, unfortunately, is bound to turn less heads because the feature list is just not quite as hype. And that's not to say the features themselves and the performances are mediocre on this thing. Most of them are actually quite decent. You know, it's nice to hear Blackistan on this record, but considering that on the last LP, Czarface had Method Man, Jizza, MF Doom, Large Professor, how are you gonna top that? Apparently, you don't. And it seems like Czarface is not even really trying to come through with equally exciting features. And, you know, the runtime of this thing is surprisingly short too. It's like 20 minutes shorter than its predecessor. I'm noticing that there's less to be excited about on the production end of things too. There are a couple of standouts on here that are like boom bap bangers, such as the song Dust. But a lot of the tracks on this thing are just simply these one-dimensional loops that just carry on and on and on. Seems kind of like a very lackluster take on the instrumental style that you would catch on like a MF Doom Special Herbs compilation, especially on the track Revenge on Lizard City, whose very off-kilter organ loops are actually pretty obnoxious. Sounds like I'm listening to Esoteric and Inspecta Deck rap over a skipping record. And even vocally and lyrically, I think Esoteric and Inspecta Deck have regressed once again. Exhibit A, the very unenthusiastic and nonsensical bars on the song There Is a Dark Side. And that is just one of many moments on this thing that aren't necessarily terrible, but aren't really great either, just merely okay. You know, what is not a standout moment on this album just kind of sounds like 90s golden era rap music being pushed past its expiration date. Which is weird to think because just last year they were dropping Every Hero Needs a Villain. Maybe this new project over here is as a result of not really waiting and sitting on these songs and just kind of rushing together another project to strike while the iron is hot and just come out with something else. And I think Czarface kind of dropped the ball when really they should have focused on coming out with something even more ambitious to follow it up. It's just really a step back in my opinion. It's not totally a fall from grace for Czarface or anything like that, but it seems like again they've gone back to the standard that they set on the first album rather than pushing past that and pushing past Every Hero Needs a Villain. I'm feeling a light to decent 6 on this album. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. And what should I review next? Hit the like if you like, and please don't cry. Just leave an angry comment if you're angry. Next to my head, all sorts of links to other videos, subscription, also the official website, and I hope you guys are doing well. Forever.